Outcome against Tottenham Hotspur 1-0. Double on the January. Manchester Chelsea. Guardiola's Manchester and Thomas Chelsea face off in what is an outfortering of in the Premier League Saturday afternoon. Top of the table clash and Manchester coming on the back of 11 in streak Premier League. Chelsea haven't lost the competition since December, so managed to drop points. 4 changes for City. Foden, Stones, or Jesus Mahrez, that's their last game with against Arsenal. As for Thomas, pandemic 5 Dash 6, Kante, Silva, and Alonso, Werner, Mount, and that's their second semi-final Carabao Cup against Tottenham Hotspur 1-0. Liverpool on the second January. 12:30 off Manchester Chelsea. Guardiola's Manchester and Thomas Chelsea face off in what is an outfortering of in the Premier League Saturday afternoon. Top of the table clash as Manchester on the back of 11 streak Premier League. Chelsea lost the competition in early December. Guardiola's Manchester and Thomas Chelsea face off in an outfortering of the Premier League Saturday afternoon. Top of the table clash as Manchester on the back of 11 pandemic 5 Premier League. Chelsea lost the competition in December.
Win against Arsenal. As for Thomas Tuchel's side, they make 5 changes today. Ziyech, Pulisic, Kante, Silva and Alonso in for Werner, Hudson-Odoi, Mount, Jorginho and Christensen. That's since their second leg semi-final of the Carabao Cup against Tottenham Hotspur, which they won 1-0. They haven't played in the league since Liverpool on the 2nd of January. It's a 12:30 kickoff. It's Manchester City against Chelsea. Pep Guardiola's Manchester City and Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea face off in what is a mouth-watering early kickoff in the Premier League this Saturday afternoon. It's a top-of-the-table clash as Manchester City coming on the back of an 11-game winning streak in the Premier League. Chelsea haven't lost a competitive game since early December, but they've also managed to drop points recently. It's 4 changes today for City as they bring in Grealish, Foden, Walker and Stones for Jesus, Mahrez, Ake and Diaz. That's since their last league game, a 2-1 win against Arsenal. As for Thomas Tuchel's side, they make 5 changes today. Ziyech, Pulisic, Kante, Silva and Alonso in for Werner, Hudson-Odoi, Mount, Jorginho and Christensen. That's since their second leg semi-final of the Carabao Cup against Tottenham Hotspur, which they won 1-0. They haven't played in the league since Liverpool on the 2nd of January. It's a 12:30 kickoff. It's Manchester City against Chelsea.
Their title
Pep Guardiola's Manchester
charge
City and
impossible. When even Pep Guardiola admits that his side probably should have come up second best on the day. Man City was certainly counting their lucky stars when they played Arsenal in their last Pro League match, which was ultimately a controversial 2-1 win on New Year's Day, let's just say that, with Everton, Riyad Mahrez and Rodri cancelling out Bukayo Saka's opener to give Pep Guardiola's men the victory over his former assistant Mikel Arteta. Obviously, FA Cup and COVID caused some issues for Man City last week, but it didn't stop their progress against Swindon Town, the FA Cup, with a 4-1 victory. That was a real professional performance for Man City. Actually, it was a fairly strong side that Pep Guardiola puts out in that game as well. And Guardiola's relentless crop of come-up trumps in each their last 7 games at home across all tournaments, including each of their last 5 in the Premier League, and even without a recognised striker for much of the campaign, Man City have still averaged at least 3 goals per Premier League game at the Etihad. In total, the reigning champions have strung together an 11-game winning streak in the Premier League, although they can take nothing for granted against the title challenge opponents, buoyed by reaching a mid-season cup final this week. There was not a shred of sentimentality towards Antonio Conte as the Tottenham Hotspur boss reunited with his former club Chelsea for the second leg of their EFL Cup semi-final on Wednesday, as the Blues got the job done in North London to advance to the final. And it was a real professional job by Chelsea. It led 2-0 from the first leg, and it was Antonio Rudiger's goal as Pierluigi Golini failed to meet Mason Mount's corner. And that was it for Tottenham. That sent Chelsea through to the final. A shot of glory against Liverpool. Arsenal waits the Blues next month, but now they've got to keep their fleeting title hopes alive, and that's currently the end for Thomas Tuchel's side, who are at risk of falling 13 points behind Man City this lunchtime with a defeat at the Etihad. And the Blues could also finish the weekend in third should Liverpool get the better of Brentford tomorrow afternoon. But they've excelled away from home amid a batch of Stamford Bridge stalemates, winning 6 of their last 8 top flight games on rival turf and conceding a league low 6 goals in such games. And Gabriel Jesus, Man City's saviour, in a 1-0 win at Stamford Bridge earlier in the season, but not since the 2017-18 campaign have the champions done the double over Chelsea, who marched to a 2-1 success at the Etihad last term with a last-minute winner. And wouldn't Thomas Tuchel love the same today? Before the game gets underway, quickly talk you through the lineup. So Man City are as follows. In goal is Ederson, back 4, Kyle Walker, John Stones, Aymeric Laporte and João Cancelo. Midfield 3 of Kevin De Bruyne, Rodri and Bernardo Silva, and a flowing front 3 of Raheem Sterling, Jack Grealish back in the lineup in the Premier League, and Phil Foden. Chelsea lineup like this is Kepa in goal, back 4 of Malang Sarr, Thiago Silva and Antonio Rudiger. Cesar Azpilicueta and Marcos Alonso take up the right and left wing back positions in the absence of Reece James and Ben Chilwell. It's Mateo Kovacic and N'Golo Kante lining up in centre midfield with Christian Pulisic and Hakim Ziyech playing in behind Romelu Lukaku, who now wants to put all those comments behind him, focus what's going on the pitch and get back to doing what he does best, scoring goals. And he was be desperate to get Chelsea up and running again the second half of the season, see they can still catch Man City. We're underway here at the Etihad. It's Man City versus Chelsea. Chelsea gets underway and straight away Thiago Silva with a diagonal ball to the right hand side. Good header from Azpilicueta, but in the end, Christian Pulisic on that right hand side just couldn't keep his balance. And straight away, João Cancelo pressed on him, and Pulisic had the ball close to his feet, but just heavy touches, right foot takes out of play. Cancelo with the throw. Aymeric Laporte's on the ball, left side of defence. Chelsea pressing high with Lukaku, Pulisic and Ziyech. And Laporte switched it to Stones. Now Stones just looking for a gap through Chelsea defence. Goes for a long ball over the top. That's a great run the right hand side. It's a diagonal run from Raheem Sterling. Gets the ball for Marcos Alonso. Plays it inside. Bernardo Silva just gets his toe to it and pokes it back to Kyle Walker. He plays it backwards to John Stones in the centre circle. Wants it back to Aymeric Laporte. Sends it to left to Cancelo. Plays it first time. Good block there from Azpilicueta. Drops Lukaku. Azpilicueta over halfway on the right hand side. Plays that forward into feet from Lukaku. Can't get past Aymeric Laporte. Great interception. And he passes it to Cancelo, who hits that off Cesar Azpilicueta. But Chelsea pressing high. It's a good positive start from Chelsea. Obviously, no, it would be not surprising to see Man City have a lot of the ball, but Chelsea will look to be more aggressive out possession than they were at Stamford Bridge. Thomas Tuchel's plan didn't seem to work that day. And, of course, we know Thomas Tuchel's more than capable of beating Pep Guardiola. He showed that on the biggest European stage in the Champions League final. And Ederson with a long diagonal ball towards Kyle Walker on the right-hand side just keeps it in play. And John Stones clears it forward. Sterling takes on his chest ahead of Malang Sarr. Good first-time pass forward from Rodri to De Bruyne. De Bruyne centre from his own half towards Jack Grealish. Well intercepted there from Cesar Azpilicueta. N'Golo Kante running forward, the ball with dispossessed from Rodri. Now it's Bernardo Silva, comes out centre circle just inside his own half. Kante gets it off him. Kante's passing set from Phil Foden. Lukaku in the centre, sends it out to the left to Hakim Ziyech halfway inside Man City's half, back to Marcos Alonso now. Here's Mateo Kovacic. Left to centre, just inside Man City half, plays it back to Thiago Silva in the centre circle. Plays diagonal ball towards Cesar Azpilicueta, and Man City's defensive line was in a perfect line to make sure that Cesar Azpilicueta was caught offside. He was always offside. Again, he should have timed his run a lot better than Azpilicueta for a player of experience. Man City take the free kick short. Stones out to Cancelo. Plays that back to Aymeric Laporte. Now Laporte has Lukaku just by him. Is that forward to Rodri first time? Plays that back to Stones. Stones finds Walker in a bit of space to run forward into. Now he's up against Alonso. Plays that inside Walker into the centre of Chelsea's half, and N'Golo Kante's there to intercept. Pulisic falls back to from De Bruyne. Plays that to Rudiger. Now it's Thiago Silva to Malang Sarr. Sarr with a long left-footed ball forward, searching for Lukaku. But Aymeric Laporte gets across, heads it down to John Stones just in front of him. Stones inside into centre to Rodri. Now it's Cancelo occupying a left inside position. Back into the feet of Rodri. 3 minutes, 15 seconds gone at the Etihad. Goalless team Man City and Chelsea. Again, it's going to be a pretty cautious start. But earlier on, there was a long ball already looking for Sterling. Man City trying that again from Laporte to Grealish. Oh, and Kepa's hit that off. I think that was Cesar Azpilicueta just racing beside Jack Grealish, and Kepa made a bit of a mess of that, hitting that off his own teammate. And it was a long ball forward from Aymeric Laporte. Played that over the top of Azpilicueta, and it looks like it was Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta and Grealish running side by side. Kepa had to come out of his area. He did hit that off Azpilicueta, hit his left hand in the end, so that will be a Man City corner on the left-hand side. Actually ends up hitting his chest, I beg your pardon. It was a sore one to take, though. Kepa cleared that with a lot of power, and Kepa would be mighty relieved that went out of play and not in the centre of his goal. But Kepa did have to take that risk, to be fair to him. And Man City have a corner on the left-hand side. With De Bruyne whips in, that's a simple catch for Kepa. He's got a big task of deputising for Edouard Mendy. Of course, Mendy really grown into his own at Chelsea, but another chance that Kepa has had. Very mixed time at Chelsea. He was their record goalkeeper signing, and he was the most expensive goalkeeper in the world. So there's big pressure in Kepa came to Chelsea, but another chance to prove himself. Antonio Rudiger with a long ball from the right side to Alonso, heads it inside, and Stones clears back into Chelsea half, and then Malang Sarr gets it for Sterling, plays it into Alonso. Now is Hakim Ziyech, shrugs off Raheem Sterling. De Bruyne trying to get across, put a tackle in, but Mateo Kovacic does well now to collect the ball and play that out to Cesar Azpilicueta. Now it's Mateo Kovacic through the middle to Lukaku, plays that first time to his left. That's a very slap pass from Raheem Sterling, gets the ball for Marcos Alonso. Here's Bernardo Silva out to the right side to Kyle Walker. Over halfway inside their own half. Now here's John Stones. Clips that out to João Cancelo in space, but Cesar Azpilicueta is going to get there first on halfway line to play that into Pulisic. Azpilicueta keeps in play, but then Rodri heads that down into Phil Foden. Now here's John Stones to Kyle Walker. Walker shifts that onto his right foot, and with that foot plays a short full pass to Phil Foden. Good balance to quickly get away and turn his back on Mateo Kovacic to play that out to João Cancelo. Now Man City were in the Chelsea half, just inside it on the left, but then Jack Grealish opts to go back to Iron Laporte. John Stones in the centre circle, now over halfway. Plays that to his right to Kyle Walker. Walker sends it down line towards the runner Phil Foden, who almost got to the ball before Thiago Silva. Silva just got his left toe to it first, just to poke that out of play. Will be a throw to the hosts, Kyle Walker to take. Goes that back to John Stones. Now is Iron Laporte in the centre circle. Pass inside his left foot to João Cancelo. Back heels that to Kevin De Bruyne. Patient play from Man City. Chelsea in a solid defensive shape. Just dropping back a bit more now than they were in the first few minutes of this match. Just over 6 minutes in here. The Etihad goalers so far, Team Man City and Chelsea. Crucial top of the table clash. Sterling gets around Marcos Alonso, and Alonso brings him down. First real danger moment for Chelsea to deal with. And Marcos Alonso is beat of a pace there from Raheem Sterling. And Sterling holding his left ankle certainly burst past Marcos Alonso, and Alonso did kick out of him. It was on the back of his right ankle, Raheem Sterling, and it was a nice one there for Marcos Alonso. Not a red card to be fair, but he's been given a yellow card pretty quickly. That's also his 5th booking of the season, so he will miss Chelsea's next Premier League encounter, which is at Brighton in the midweek. Very tough game for Chelsea. Actually drew 1-1 to Brighton quite recently, so I know that one's a tough one, but they'll be desperate to get something out of this to take it into the Brighton game. So it's Kevin De Bruyne on the right hand side to whip in the free kick, headed away from Malang Sarr. In the centre Chelsea's half, it drops to Iron Laporte to head that back into the feet of Kyle Walker. Man City going to try and advance back to the Chelsea half again. Phil Foden plays that back to Laporte. João Cancelo wants to receive it off Laporte, and Laporte displays a short pass to his left to Cancelo. Good pressure from Pulisic, forces Cancelo to play it back to Laporte. Here's Cancelo, now receives it from Laporte, a bit more advanced position, but he goes back to Laporte again. Really good pressing this from Chelsea. They look at a really good tight unit at the moment. Man City is struggling to play through them. It's always got to be balls over the top. Now Stones plays that beyond Hakim Ziyech towards Raheem Sterling, but Kovacic gets across and makes the tackle on Sterling. Now plays that forward to Ziyech on the left-hand side. Ziyech back to Kovacic. Really good defensive play there from Kovacic, linking up with Hakim Ziyech. Kovacic goes back to Thiago Silva inside his own penalty area. Now is Kepa. Kepa under pressure from Phil Foden. Needs to get that out of the penalty area, and he does. Plays that to Rudiger. Good play this from Chelsea despite being under pressure. Azpilicueta into N'Golo Kante. Now is Rudiger under pressure from Grealish. Kante plays that first time. Reaches the chest at Azpilicueta. Lays that back to Rudiger. Controls that on his right knee. Plays a long clearance, which is headed down with Bernardo Silva. Jots to Marcos Alonso, centre of his own half. Back kills that into Kovacic. Now Chelsea can possibly counter. Christian Pulisic runs from the centre circle. He's in the centre of the Man City half. Just inside it. Plays that back to N'Golo Kante. Plays that across the centre circle inside Man City's half to Mateo Kovacic. Now Malang Sarr into the feet of Marcos Alonso. Back into the Chelsea half from Alonso to Sarr again. Here's Thiago Silva. Phil Foden just lurking in behind. Sarr and Silva combined. Silva being pressed from Kevin De Bruyne. Silva goes to his right to Rudiger. Here is Chelsea on the ball. Cesar Azpilicueta plays that into the feet of Romelu Lukaku against his former Everton teammate John Stones. Lukaku outmuscles him. Now Lukaku's passing through on goal. Plays to his right to Ziyech, and Ziyech was on the stretch and couldn't get a shot on goal. Flags up against Hakim Ziyech anyway, so if he turned it in, it wouldn't have been a goal. Great play though for Romelu Lukaku against John Stones. Had too much strength to him. It was the pass Azpilicueta into Lukaku, and Lukaku just barged into John Stones, got in front of him, outmuscled him, And Lukaku played a pass in between Walker and Laporte, but Ziyech was offside. He didn't turn it in any way. The pass was just slightly far too in front of him, but that was a really good counter-attacking move from Chelsea. Romelu Lukaku with the heartbeat of it. That's what Thomas Tuchel wants to see from him. Lukaku now knows he needs to knuckle down and really turn his season at Chelsea around. It's had injuries, it's had controversial comments, but this is a big chance today in such a battle like this to really prove himself again to the Chelsea fans. Ball's now back with Kepa. Man City made a free kick quickly. And Malang Sarr sends a long ball forward, too far behind Hakim Ziyech. And Malang Sarr does apologise to Ziyech. He knows that that was a poor ball forward. Again, I've said about opportunities for the likes of Kepa and Romelu Lukaku to prove himself again. But Malang Sarr being in the Chelsea defence, another big opportunity for him to make a name for himself. Obviously, he was a high-profile signing. He was loaned back to Rennes, but Malang Sarr obviously back at Chelsea to try and get in this first team, and huge opportunity for him with the defensive injuries that Chelsea do have. Laporte plays that over halfway to De Bruyne. Now Cancelo sends it down left-hand channel for Grealish. Taking on Rudiger. Grealish still ball on his left foot going towards the byline. Grealish gets Rudiger, and Grealish just got the ball stopped behind him. Didn't help that Rudiger was defending superbly. Was right by Grealish's side, didn't give him a moment's space. And he had just out-muscled Grealish, and Grealish just lost his balance. Ball was behind him, trickled out of play, and Kepa plays it short to Malang Sarr. Alonso under pressure from Walker. Now Alonso sends that towards the right-hand side over the head of Christian Pulisic, who was well marshalled by João Cancelo, and Aymeric Laporte plays that back to Ederson, just on the outside of his area. Plays that shortly inside his left foot to John Stones. Stones now has Laporte in space to his left and does go for his central defensive partner. Laporte, what's he going to do with this? Just goes back into the feet of John Stones. More patient play between the Man City centre-backs. Again, they link up once more. Laporte now into Cancelo over halfway. Cancelo clips over the top of Rudiger. De Bruyne left at the penalty area. De Bruyne can get ball and keeps in play. Plays at the outside of his right foot into the centre penalty area, and it's cleared very powerfully with the right foot of Marcos Alonso to safety. But can Man City get it back towards the Chelsea penalty area? Rodri works into Walker. Now Bernardo Silva in the right inside position out to Raheem Sterling. Sterling gets Alonso. Sterling sends Alonso the wrong way. Sterling to the byline. Sterling gets a cross in. Almost reached Jack Grealish. Flicked away from Cesar Azpilicueta at the back post. Only as far as João Cancelo. Taking on Pulisic. Cancelo on his left foot. Deflects off Azpilicueta. Kepa catched it, but he catched it when the ball went out of play. And that'll be a Man City corner kick on left-hand side. Great work again for Raheem Sterling against Marcos Alonso. That's a battle that Man City seem to keep on winning. Sterling against Alonso on Man City's right-hand side. And Pep Guardiola will be very encouraged by the way that's going. And Raheem Sterling receives a short corner for Kevin De Bruyne. And Sterling sends it across towards John Stones. Stones just headed straight at Kepa. Really intelligent short corner for Man City. Chelsea weren't prepared for it. Quickly taken from De Bruyne into Sterling. And then Sterling putting a dangerous right foot across, beautifully floated towards John Stones. Rosebud Marcos Alonso at the back post, headed it straight at Kepa. It says what Azpilicueta inside to Mateo Kovacic, plays it first time to N'Golo Kante. Flown play this from Chelsea. Hakim Ziyech towards Romelu Lukaku, and the pass was too heavy. And it's happened again where a pass has been too heavy in that combination between Ziyech and Lukaku. This time Lukaku was the receiver, and Thomas Tuchel jumps up and throws his fist in frustration. He knew that should have been a much better pass from Hakim Ziyech towards Romelu Lukaku. But again, encouraging signs for Chelsea on the counter-attack. Certainly when you compare the last Premier League game when they met Stamford Bridge, Chelsea already looked more threatening with such a poor performance of Thomas Tuchel's men. At the same time, it was a masterclass from Manchester City as well that day. Got to give them credit, but I think Chelsea expected better themselves. And Phil Foden dispossessed from Mateo Kovacic, but being given as a Man City free kick. Referee says that Kovacic got more of Phil Foden than the ball. Good touch from Phil Foden. In fact, did Kovacic get any of the ball? He did actually, to be fair, but caught Foden first, so I can understand why the referee's giving that free kick. And it's taken short from Man City towards the right side to Kyle Walker. Here's John Stones towards Bernardo Silva. Plays that back first time to John Stones, just inside his own half. Here's Aymeric Laporte, just on the edge of the centre circle. Now over halfway, the diagonal full pass to the left to João Cancelo. Cancelo pressed very well from Christian Pulisic. Now here's John Stones, advances it just into the Chelsea half. Here's Bernardo Silva out the right-hand side, has Kyle Walker just in behind him. But Bernardo Silva ignores Walker and goes back to Rodri, plays that across to Iron Laporte to receive that in a good bit of space. Now into Cancelo. Cancelo out to Grealish. Grealish in line with the penalty area. Grealish on the edge of it. Right foot pass back to Cancelo. Man City working this nicely. Now in the left centre is Rodri. Here's John Stones. Heavy touch with left foot. Manages to play it out to the right hand side to Bernardo Silva. Just under halfway inside the Chelsea half. Back to Kyle Walker. And good pressing this from Ziyech. Forcing Walker to play it back to Stones. Now Stones being followed from Lukaku. Stones plays that across the Iron Laporte. Just over 15 minutes gone at the Etihad. Goalless team Man City and Chelsea. It has been most possession for Man City, and they've had a header from John Stone just a moment ago straight at Kepa. But overall, Chelsea have had a couple of dangerous counter-attacks, especially attempted link-up play between Romelu Lukaku and Hakim Ziyech at times. That will encourage Thomas Tuchel. Here's Kyle Walker into Raheem Sterling. Now he's had the better of Marcos Alonso on 2 occasions so far in the first 60 minutes of this match. Walker into Foden. Foden heavy touch, but just manages to poke it into Raheem Sterling. Now Sterling driving past Marcos Alonso. He's in the penalty area. What a challenge there from Malang Sarr. He had to time that to perfection. Sterling was running at a ferocious pace, and Chelsea would be glad to see that corner executed like that. Phil Foden will certainly expect better himself. Should have really been a better delivery there from Phil Foden, but very much overhit. But Thomas Tuchel, again, will be thinking about that counter-attack there a moment ago. They've got to be better on those counter-attacks against Man City. They were doing so well in the transition, Chelsea, and Thomas Tuchel will know it's that final ball moment ago from Hakim Ziyech to Romelu Lukaku. Had to be better. Lukaku was away from John Stones. Pass just had to be a lot better. Kepa with the goal kick towards the left-hand side. It's Alonso jostling with Kyle Walker, and it bounces out of play for Man City to throw. Good defending there from Kyle Walker. Marcos Alonso was never winning that battle. Walker always had the better of him, and just wanted to stop Marcos Alonso from jumping in. That's exactly what happened. And Man City take the throw in from Walker to Stones. Walker wants it back. He does. Walker just inside Chelsea half. Now just moves back into his own half. Press back into the edge. Here's John Stones. And Stones just plays it safe. Plays it into the feet of Edison. Goes out to João Cancelo. Cancelo has Rodri calling for it inside, and that's exactly what he does. Rodri press from N'Golo Kante. Really good pass there from the right foot. Rodri out to Kyle Walker, who advances into the Chelsea half. Ziyech trying to get it off him, and Ziyech just pulled there on Kyle Walker's shirt, but the foul was committed first from Kyle Walker, and that is a Chelsea free kick. Walker with a heavy touch, and Ziyech just got off him. In fact, Ziyech had his hand on Kyle Walker, and Ziyech fell to the ground. It's been given as a Chelsea free kick. Certainly Ziyech should have his hand on Walker though, but Chelsea play a free kick short. Back to Malang Sarr. Now Alonso forward to Lukaku, flicks that towards Pulisic, and Laporte plays that into Walker, and it's back now with Edison. And it's a missed opportunity there for Chelsea to quickly get forward. Now Bernardo Silva with his left foot whips out for Phil Foden to chase. Malang Sarr gets there first and plays out the inside of his left foot back into the feet of Kepa. Foden pressing on Kepa, and that's a long clearance there from the Chelsea goalkeeper out to Chelsea's right hand side, inside Man City's half, picked up from Iron Laporte, and here's Edison. Man City can build from the back again. Rodri into Phil Foden, first time pass the inside his left foot to João Cancelo. Ball into Jack Grealish, moves inside. Still just inside Chelsea's half. Now Rodri plays it back to the centre circle. John Stones now right of centre, just inside the Chelsea half, plays it to Walker, back to Stones again. Good pressing this from Lukaku on Stones, and Stones has to go back to Edison. Frustrating start on the whole for Man City. We've had some decent attacks, but Chelsea have forced Man City to pass backwards a lot, and with Chelsea's defensive line, they're doing really well at that so far. They've got certainly a good threat out in Chelsea as well, with Ziyech and Pulisic just in behind Lukaku. They can certainly cause some damage if they can get the defensive side right, which they are doing so far. It was a good pass there from Cancelo into the feet of Foden. Now Jack Grealish taking on Rudiger. Grealish surrounded by Kante and Rudiger. Grealish backhills it, picked off from Rudiger ahead of Cancelo, and Cancelo pulls the back of Antonio Rudiger's shirt. 20 minutes in here at the Etihad, and Chelsea done really well so far. It's goalless, and it's a disciplined performance from Chelsea. Got that little threat on the counter-attack, so Thomas Tuchel will be extremely encouraged, and he knows that this Chelsea side's more than capable of beating Man City. Shown with Thomas Tuchel, they showed it on many occasions already under the German manager. Champions League final, of course, I mentioned. Also in the league, that 2-1 victory at the Etihad. Long free kick from Kepa towards Lukaku, headed away from Laporte, now picked up in centre circle from Phil Foden. Foden moves towards the right hand side, and good strength there from Kovacic, and gets it off Foden. Now Kovacic plays ball the outside, his right foot to Pulisic. That's a heavy cross in the end from left hand side, and intercepted from John Stones. And now Cancelo plays that forward towards Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne on the left against N'Golo Kante. De Bruyne just has space to play that inside to Rodri. Chelsea sitting back once more. Rodri out to the right hand side to Bernardo. Bernardo Silva just moves that on his left foot. Plays it back to Rodri. Rodri high cross towards the back post. Comes to the back of Jack Grealish's head. Kick stays alive. Gets there on that loose bounce for Rudiger. Plays that into Sterling. Left edge of the area. Back to Cancelo. Forward into Sterling again. Has Grealish close by, but not enough space. Here's Cancelo once more. Now John Stones. Right foot pass into the feet Kyle Walker, who's in the right inside channel. Back to De Bruyne. First time pass to Rodri. Centre of Chelsea's half. Here's Kyle Walker again. Bernardo Silva just in front of him, but he goes slightly forward into Rodri, just in between Ziyech and Kante. Kante moves a bit further back. Here's Walker on the ball into Rodri again. Chelsea once more moving to tight defensive shape. Now Grealish goes into the centre to play that out to Bernardo Silva. Silva on his left foot. Plays it through the legs of Malang Sarr. Just too far in front of Raheem Sterling. Good idea there from Bernardo Silva. Finally, the first real threatening moment from Bernardo Silva. Raheem Sterling, to be honest, has been Man City's main threat so far. Bernardo Silva almost set up Sterling there. Good intelligent pass. Not met Malang Sarr, but the pass just too far in front of Raheem Sterling. Antonio Rudiger clears that off the back of Jack Grealish from Azpilicueta's backwards pass. It goes back into the hands of Kepa. Here's Malang Sarr into the feet of Marcos Alonso, just in front of his manager Thomas Tuchel to pick up that ball. Lay that back to Malang Sarr. Just a crossfield pass from Sarr across the back line to Rudiger. Long pass searching for Lukaku. Too far in front of Lukaku. And Ederson quickly throws out to Rodri. It's Bernardo Silva. Plays out the outside of his left foot back to Kyle Walker. Now crossing to Laporte. Now Cancelo. Really good pass to Cancelo on the outside of Rudiger to Grealish now. Grealish taking on Rudiger. Plays that forward to De Bruyne. De Bruyne's crossed too far in front of Phil Foden, straight into hands of Kepa. That was much more like the flowing Man City play we're used to watching. Cancelo just moved it inside on his right foot. The space had opened up. Azpilicueta pressed too high. And there was Grealish, one-on-one Rudiger. Played that into just in front of him, left of the penalty area to De Bruyne. His cross straight into the hands of Kepa, though. Man City lose possession, Chelsea lose possession through Lukaku, and picked up from João Cancelo. Ball just inside the Man City half with Aymeric Laporte on it. Laporte now plays that across the face of Pulisic to Cancelo. Here is Kyle Walker, ball on his right foot. Good first time pass there from Foden into Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva just inside the box now, plays that on the right edge to Raheem Sterling, taking on Kovacic and Alonso. Sterling plays that back to Rodri. Kovacic gets across. Rodri's cross towards Grealish at the back post. Going to be headed away fast to Quetta, and Cancelo's ball into the 6-yard box, cleared by Antonio Rudiger. He's on the ground looking helpless. Did really well there, Rudiger, and De Bruyne dispossesses Kante. Ball rolls out of play though for a Chelsea throw. And Man City now, in this last couple of minutes, are beginning to get more dangerous. Cross towards Jack Grealish for the testing one. And Quetta might give him a little nudge. Let's have a look. I think they both just went up there, to be fair. It's certainly not a penalty at all. And yeah, it was fair. Both went up together and just missed the pair of them. And Azpilicueta now takes a throw. Header from Cancelo inside towards Ziyech. Was caught late on his right heel from Bernardo Silva. 25 minutes gone here at the Etihad. Goalless team, Man City and Chelsea. Man City pressing though a lot more again. A couple of dangerous moments recently. The De Bruyne's cross into the box was caught from Kepa. It was a dangerous counter-attacking move. And just a moment though, that cross towards Jack Grealish. certainly a dangerous looking one. Man City had the ball back with Raheem Sterling. Now Rodri in the centre of Chelsea yard. De Bruyne first time caught late from Malang Sarr. Play on low for Man City. They're on the right of the penalty area. Bernardo Silva into Raheem Sterling. De Bruyne back up on his feet. Sterling trying to hold up Marcos Alonso. Does really well. Sterling spins away from Alonso's pass intercept from Malang Sarr, who made that poor challenge on De Bruyne a moment ago. And Sarr just about clears it away for a Man City throw-in. But again, now Man City starting to get the ball into the box. Just a moment ago, they had it in the right of the penalty area. Good defending though from Malang Sarr again. Again, made up for just that poor challenge on De Bruyne a moment ago, but it was play on. Walker takes the throw and Sterling loses it against Alonso. Now Kante plays that forward to Lukaku, and Stones just gets it off his left foot back into Aymeric Laporte. Here's Ederson now just standing in line with the penalty spot. Here's John Stones. Kyle Walker calling for it. Now he has Rodri just beside Lukaku who wants it. Stones goes for Laporte. Again, Chelsea, they know have to pick and choose their moments carefully when to press. Man City starting to get foothold now in this contest. They're in real deep search for that opening goal this match. Kyle Walker back to John Stones. Again, Kante now pressing higher up with Pulisic and Lukaku. Really good shape this in Chelsea again. Press high for the moment. Let's see if it can last. De Bruyne into Aymeric Laporte. And Laporte has Cancelo, who's trying to get in space. Here's De Bruyne. Left-hand side of his own half. Back to Laporte. Again, Scafferty, another patient passage of play for Man City to try and advance deep into the Chelsea half. Bernardo Silva pressing Hakim Ziyech, and Lukaku just in front of him as well. Bernardo Silva does well just to get away from Ziyech and plays that out to De Bruyne. Gets the ball stuck on his foot. That's a rare sentence to say. And now here's drops Azpilicueta's in front of Grealish, and the flag is up against Chelsea. That was really poor play from De Bruyne, and Chelsea were sprinting forward on the counter-attack, and so frustrated with himself. It's John Stones into Aymeric Laporte, switch onto his right foot. Good pass from the inside of his right foot to João Cancelo. Cancelo over halfway, and Cancelo overhits a pass down the left-hand flank towards Jack Grealish. Yeah, Jack Grealish has mainly played on the left-hand side, but it was a little dangerous moment around about 5 minutes ago where he really got involved by joining the centre to link up the play, and that gives us on that Jack Grealish does more as this contest goes on. So far, it's been a good job from Chelsea. I think a point wouldn't be too bad for them, but obviously to realistically stay in the title race, I think they'll be eyeing up a win. Such a big gap Man City created. You just think, when will Man City maybe drop off? But the standards are just ridiculous under Pep Guardiola, who never let them drop. And that's the reason why Man City are 10 points clear Chelsea going into this game. Can they extend it to 13? It'll be a tough job, the way this game's going for Man City today, to break down the Chelsea side. Here's N'Golo Kante, but pressured by Phil Foden, plays it back to Malang Sarr, overhits that left foot pass towards Hakim Ziyech, who was always chasing the ball. Ziyech wanted the ball played into his feet. And again, I'm not sure who Thomas Tuchel's angry at though. Malang Sarr for the pass, Hakim Ziyech for maybe poor movement. He maybe actually thought Malang Sarr did the right thing. Ziyech just should have been standing in that position. Thomas Tuchel's certainly angry at one of those players, that's for sure. Here's Aymeric Laporte to João Cancelo. De Bruyne just in front of him. De Bruyne plays it back first time. Here's De Bruyne on the ball again. Now, Jack Grealish. Right foot pass to Rodri. Left centre of the Chelsea half. Diagonal pass to Raheem Sterling. Gets under control. Alonso gets his body across though and gets the ball back off Sterling. Here's Malang Sarr. Chased down from Bernardo Silva. Sarr clears. It's only as far as John Stones, just inside the Chelsea half. Stones plays that across just over the halfway line to Aymeric Laporte. Here's Jack Grealish. Short pass inside for Cancelo. Grealish looking to spin away from Pulisic. Does that well. And plays that short to Walker to his right. Sterling just in behind Kyle Walker. Here's Rodri. Right centre of Chelsea's half. Rodri tackled there from Kovacic. And that was really good defending there for Mateo Kovacic. Just pinched the ball off Rodri, and Rodri clearly did just pull his shirt, and Rodri just did that in frustration, really. Couldn't believe that he lost the ball. It was 50 minutes to go till half-time this first half. Still goalless at the Etihad. Chelsea haven't really tested Ederson, but I'm certain that there will be a moment to come for Chelsea. They've had a couple of dangerous counter-attacks, and with the quality that Chelsea can have on the transitions, again, I think the lineup for Thomas Tuchel is a very smart one. Again, he knows Lukaku, that vocal point up there with Pulisic and Ziyech just in behind, could work a treat. Alonso with the throw to Kante. Grealish out muscles N'Golo Kante, and then Bernardo Silva picks up the ball. And Bernardo Silva caught from behind there for Mateo Kovacic, and that is a yellow card shown in a flash towards Kovacic. You could see he certainly did hack out at the back of Bernardo Silva, and Craig Pawson did not hesitate to show the Croatian midfielder a yellow card. It was a desperate chance from Kovacic, and Bernardo Silva was gliding away from him. It's Mateo Kovacic's third booking of the season, and he's given away a free kick in a dangerous position, right of centre for Kevin De Bruyne by looks of it to take. Phil Foden fancies his chances as well, so it'll be interesting to see who's going to be taking this delivery, De Bruyne or Foden. Chelsea just organising the back line. Foden steps over the ball. De Bruyne, unsurprisingly, dinks in towards the back post. Cleared behind for corner kick from Marcos Alonso. Just got there in front of Aymeric Laporte. I think Alonso's appealing that was maybe a push from Laporte on him. Nothing's going to be given in his favour, so it will be a Man City corner on the left-hand side. There was a hand, to be fair, on the back of Alonso from Laporte, but I think Craig Pawson spotted that. So it will be a corner kick to Man City. Taken from Kevin De Bruyne. Right to centre, almost found there to Laporte, but just nicked away from Rudiger. Cancelo heads it back to the centre. Penalty area headed away from Malang Sarr. Now is Bernardo Silva. Right edge of the 18-yard box. Silva trying to keep his balance up against Ziyech. Was he caught late from Ziyech? The flag is up. And Bernardo Silva complaining that should have been a free kick. The flag was just up for a throw-in, which Chelsea take quickly. Just still deep inside their own half. Now Alonso to Ziyech. Pulisic keeps his balance and gets away from De Bruyne. Plays that inside quickly to N'Golo Kante. Turns away from Rodri. Back to Malang Sarr. Is Kante again. Just to Thiago Silva, standing in front of the D. Short right-foot pass into Malang Sarr. Malang Sarr played that too far outside of Marcos Alonso. Sarr looked frustrated, but I think that should have been a much better pass from Malang Sarr to defeat Marcos Alonso. Walker throws it back to John Stones. Here's Aymeric Laporte now to João Cancelo. Laporte wants it back. Pulisic trying to intercept that Cancelo pass. Laporte does get it. Now is Rodri being chased down for Kovacic, who now presses on John Stones. Here's Kyle Walker, clips it forward, and header away from Marcos Alonso. Good header from Alonso. Finds the feet of Malang Sarr. And back. Rodri strokes that across to João Cancelo, taking up a left inside position. Now further out on the left-hand side, Grealish picks it up. But Rudiger chased him all the way. Forced Grealish to play it back to Cancelo. Now Cancelo advances forwards. And he played that off Azpilicueta. Looks like it has been given as a Man City throw. Cancelo's led to glide forward the ball, so it's good interception there for Azpilicueta. Cancelo takes the throw and links up with Foden. Now Foden gets away for Kante. Kovacic, great bounce of Phil Foden. Foden left the penalty area, plays across, and no one was there to pick it up. Apart from Marcos Alonso, who's under pressure of Raheem Sterling. Right of the penalty area, but Sterling just nudges into him. And Alonso wins a clever free kick. What play there from Phil Foden. Got away from Pulisic, and then Foden got in between Kante and Kovacic. Rudiger couldn't intercept Foden's cross. The problem with Foden was there was no one running into the centre. Such a well-hit ball. De Bruyne was maybe running there. Then De Bruyne would have been free for a shot on goal, but his closest teammate was Raheem Sterling, who was out on the right-hand side, and Marcos Alonso beats the ball, and then Sterling's conceded a free kick now, which is taken from Kepa. 10 minutes to go to half-time at the Etihad. Still goalless in Man City and Chelsea. It's been a good defensive job for Chelsea so far. They haven't faded, though, attacking-wise in this match as it's gone on. So now we'll maybe start to see more of a similar thing than what we saw at Stamford Bridge in the reverse fixture. Walker halfway inside his own half, throws that back to Edison, just inside his penalty area. Edison looking to play that out with his left foot, but still on the ball. Edison now just plays a short ball, forward ball with that foot into Rodri. Here's Laporte, well controlled for Cancelo with his left foot. Now on the opposite foot, plays a beautiful long ball forward for Grealish to chase, but Kepa read that really well and played that with the inside of his right foot, lifted that out of play for a Man City throw on the left-hand side. De Bruyne leaves that for João Cancelo to take. Throws that back to Aymeric Laporte. Here's John Stones. Good pressing this from Ziyech on Walker. Walker does have Bernardo Silva close by. Uses Rodri. We've got him between Ziyech and Pulisic. Played that out to Bernardo Silva. Alonso stayed tight to Bernardo Silva though. And he just goes back to Kyle Walker. Rodri gets away from Ziyech. Kovacic can't make the tackle as the ball's found Bernardo Silva. Now Silva towards Sterling, and Malang Sarr uses his strength to get across. Looks like he has conceded the corner kick though. Let's have another look at it. Sterling did hit that off Malang Sarr. Ball to Carl Sterling last. The ball had already gone out of play, so ball went out of play last. Touch kicking off Malang Sarr. Foden takes the corner kick short to De Bruyne. Hits that off Cesar Azpilicueta, and that is a Man City throw-in. So Chelsea well aware of that short corner kick routine. Man City did do that once in his first half. He got a cross in the box out of it, and Stones headed it straight at Kepa. De Bruyne back to Rodri. Now here's Aymeric Laporte. 8 minutes to go till half-time. Still goalless here at the Etihad to Man City and Chelsea. Cancelo plays out the outside of his right foot back to Jack Grealish. Ball just inside Chelsea's half. Laporte into John Stones. Comes out the centre circle. Plays out into De Bruyne. In the inside right channel, his forward pass. Intercepted from Marcos Alonso. De Bruyne keeps in play. Plays that back to Kyle Walker. In fact, when it came off Alonso, the ball had already gone out of play. Ball De Bruyne got it, so throw into Man City. Walker goes out to Laporte. Here's Stones now. Walker again. Right foot pass, pinpoint through the gap of Silva and Sarr to De Bruyne. De Bruyne to the back post towards Grealish. I thought that was the moment there. Man City and Rudiger clears it behind for a corner kick. That was a brilliant pass there for Kyle Walker. In fact, the flag has gone up against Ken De Bruyne, was just offside. Dangerous there though from Man City, much better. Good defend though for Rudiger anyway to clear that behind. Grealish's eyes lit up when De Bruyne found himself in space right of the penalty area. Here's Malang Sarr. Looks for Ziyech, headed away from Stones. And as far as Marcos Alonso plays that inside to Kovacic. Back to Malang Sarr. Here's Thiago Silva. Kovacic being pressed from Bernardo Silva. Silva did catch Kovacic late. It's a free kick to Chelsea. Malang Sarr just standing behind it to take it and plays that back with the inside his left foot to Kepa. Here's Malang Sarr again. Left foot pass into Marcos Alonso. Chase down Bernardo Silva. Short pass inside to Kovacic. Force out from De Bruyne. De Bruyne intercepts. Grealish surely going to make this 1-0. Jack Grealish doesn't. I think Kepa just got a little touch on it. That was the golden chance for Man City to break the deadlock. Jack Grealish one-on-one with Kepa. Great pressing there from Bernardo Silva and Marcos Alonso. You play that to Kovacic. Kovacic's pass intercepted from De Bruyne. It drops in the centre for Jack Grealish. Runs through the D into the area, one-on-one with Kepa, and Kepa with his outstretched left leg just managed to get a touch on it. Big chance wasted there from Jack Grealish. Man City have a corner though. Foden's corner headed away at the near post, and Cesar Azpilicueta. Oh, Jack Grealish must be thinking, how did he not make that 1-0 through one-on-one? You thought it was going to be simple fish into the bottom corner. It sums up Jack Grealish's time at Manchester City so far. Still growing into life here in the northwest. Cancelo's pass blocked off from Pulisic, but finds Laporte, gives it to Cancelo, and Pulisic just puts a tackle in and concedes a throw just inside his own half. And Pulisic, he went in for that tackle. Looks like he's hurt himself. Cancelo did really well to keep him in play with his right foot. And Pulisic came crunching in. I think Cancelo accidentally stood on Pulisic's right leg. It was a complete accident though for Cancelo. Didn't see Pulisic running in behind. And Pulisic just getting back up on his feet now. He's certainly feeling the pain. Just under 5 minutes to go of normal time in this first half. Man City do have a throw on Pulisic's tackle on Cancelo. Pulisic is fine now. Cancelo's throw picked up, and Jack Grealish, who had a big chance just a moment ago, took Man City 1-0 up. Can City get another chance to break the deadlock for half-time? Walker into Sterling, halfway inside the Chelsea half. Sterling in the centre to Rodri. Pressing Kovacic back to Stones. First time to Laporte. Ball now into Chelsea's half. Aymeric Laporte finds Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne, good dribbling for De Bruyne. Gets away from Pulisic. Finds Foden inside. Caught late from Thiago Silva. Nothing given for Craig Pawson. And now Chelsea can try and move forward. Kovacic into Pulisic. Pulisic. Ball just runs in behind him. Now he turns and picks it up. Drives through the centre circle to play that out to left to Marcos Alonso. Here's Hakim Ziyech. Back to Malang Sarr, really that momentum Chelsea's attack's gone. But Chelsea still have possession now. They lose it through Marcos Alonso. Get it back through Kovacic. Silva in the centre circle of his own half towards Rudiger. Rudiger, heavy touch. And he's caught Jack Grealish from behind. That was a slap touch there from Antonio Rudiger. And Thomas Tuchel really angry at his side, feeling slapped in possession. In fact, no, nothing's given. No free kick to Man City. Chelsea just take the throw. And Pulisic loses the ball. Now then from the throw, and Chelsea lose it straight away anyway. And the ball is still Man City now in their own half though. 3 minutes of normal time to go in this first half. Here's Aymeric Laporte. Here's João Cancelo. Now full Foden, just looking for what pass he might make forwards. Foden just standing left of the centre circle in the Chelsea half. Here's John Stones. Back into the feet of Phil Foden. Foden has space to look out on the left-hand side to find João Cancelo. Not the greatest of passes, just behind Cancelo. Cancelo picks up though and plays it forward into Grealish. Grealish left a penalty area against Rudiger. Grealish plays it back to De Bruyne. De Bruyne goes for a shot, powerful but over the bar. Well worked there from Man City. Cancelo found Foden's ball. He played that forward into Grealish, and Grealish just played that back to De Bruyne. One touch to get away from N'Golo Kante. De Bruyne was in the left centre of the penalty area. Should have done better with that shot, Kevin De Bruyne. But Man City are getting closer. But Chelsea are heading to half-time with a score they would have wanted. They would have certainly taken anyway. They've been goalless. Cause Chelsea, they know realistically to really have a big chance to stay in the start race. A win would be invaluable today, but in the circumstances, the fact they haven't had too many chances, Man City have had some golden opportunities recently. Chelsea, they can hold it out for the next minute, half and all time. Plus, if stoppage time's added on, then they've done well in this first half. Man City have a throw, and Kyle Walker picks up Phil Foden, stays on side. Silva intercepts Foden's pass though, and then Kovacic picks up in centre circle, caught late from Rodri. That's a free kick to Chelsea. Maybe a chance for Chelsea to get forward. Just a minute and 10 seconds and all time to go in this first half at the Etihad. Goalless team Man City and Chelsea. Free kick taken short from Sarr to Kovacic. Here's Thiago Silva. Long right-footed pass, looking to play it at the top of Cancelo. Almost found the chest of Azpilicueta. Cancelo, the back of his head though. Managed to get it out of play. And it's going to be a Chelsea throw. Just over halfway inside the Man City half. On the right side, Cesar Azpilicueta to take. Has Antonio Rudiger just behind him. Kovacic for company as well. Azpilicueta still looking who's going to throw it to. Throws it back to Rudiger. Controls it with his midriff. Now, here's Thiago Silva. Foden trying to set that Silva pass. Manages to pick up Rudiger. Now it's Pulisic. First time to Cesar Azpilicueta. Kovacic now picks out Pulisic, Hakim Ziyech. Links up Pulisic on his right side. Good players from Chelsea. Pulisic in line the penalty area. On the edge of the box. Plays that back in the right centre towards Ziyech. Tries to play across into the box. Blocked off from De Bruyne. Now Rudiger turns away from De Bruyne. And Rudiger pinning for free kick. Nothing given. Now Grealish is there for company to pick up the ball. Driving forward with it. And Grealish appearing that Rudiger pushing in the back. Nothing given. And Chelsea back on the front foot with Hakim Ziyech to Christian Pulisic. Here's Cesar Azpilicueta. Just plays that back. Listen behind it to Matej Kovacic. Right centre is N'Golo Kante. Here's Antonio Rudiger. Chelsea just under halfway inside the Man City half. Now here's Thiago Silva just on the halfway line. Picks it up and looks forward. Just has Pulisic close by. Looks at Lukaku, intercepted from Laporte. Only starts Malang Sarr. Only a minute of stoppage time in this first half, and Chelsea are moving the ball nicely here, but still an hour and a half. We've already got 20 seconds now at that minute of stoppage time to go. Here says Azpilicueta into Christian Pulisic. Turns away. Plays out to Lukaku. Back to Pulisic. There's one chance here for Chelsea. Looks at Ziyech. Intercepted from Stones. On his far as Malang Sarr. Marcos Alonso. Here's Matej Kovacic. Sarr gets it back. I think Chelsea just now reserved in their passing and will be happy to take this goalless into half-time. Thiago Silva into Antonio Rudiger. The half-time whistle has gone at the Etihad, and it is goalless so far, just like it was in the reverse fixture at half-time. At Jack Grealish with a golden opportunity, the best chance of this half by a mile. Kovacic's pass intercepted from De Bruyne, and it falls perfectly to Jack Grealish right in the centre. Drives into the box, one-on-one with Kepa. Kepa with an outstretched left leg managed to save the day for Chelsea. Been under pressure for a lot this half. It's a good combination play for Man City, but Pep Guardiola on the whole be frustrated. Thomas Tuchel will be frustrated with the element, particularly the one from Lukaku towards Ziyech, where Ziyech was in the offside position. But again, that was a dangerous looking pass from Lukaku. That's probably one of the most Chelsea's impressive counter-attacks. They haven't really tested Ederson in this first half. Kepa came up chance when he was tested from Jack Grealish. So all to play for in the second half in this top of the table clash here.